Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your man, the Grass Ninja. Welcome to the channel. Bro, how many times do you guys think that the Otsutsuki could have tampered with the minds of man? What did the Otsutsuki change? So, as of chapter 79, we have Momoshiki saying that, have you guys never contemplated just how many times an Otsutsuki who's become a god may have previously manipulated mankind's memories? So, the purpose of today's video is to look into some of these confirmed instances of the Otsutsuki, or their powers, being used to manipulate the memories of man, as well as looking into some possible events that could potentially receive retcons, like possible events in the Naruto story that could be retconned, for better or for worse. Alright, now before we jump into the video, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's subscribed, bro. We just passed 1,000 subscribers. This joint is crazy. It's actually even my birthday as of this recording, so I just turned 25. We just hit 1,000 subs. We ballin', bro. I took like so many shots yesterday, and we feeling nice today too, bro. I'm unstoppable. Now, anyway, confirmed instances of the gods manipulating mankind's memories. Bro, we have the original god herself, or I guess I should say the original goddess, Kaguya. Now, we all know this Kaguya ate the divine fruit, and then she hit the infinite Tsukiyomi, right? Now, Kaguya releases an unknown percentage of the human populace from the infinite Tsukiyomi, and then she alters their memories. So, we already have all of the history and all of the memories of mankind being manipulated and altered by an Otsutsuki. Kaguya makes all of humanity believe that she came to save them by ending all of their wars, and they called her the Rabbit Goddess. So she ended all the wars. Like, she didn't entirely lie, but she manipulated all their memories so no one would remember her as the girl who came down and got with the dude from the land of that, or whatever it was called, the land of ancestors. Yeah, no, she just is the Rabbit Goddess now, ender of all wars. Now, these next few are actually instances of Otsutsuki powers manipulating the history of man, or things like that. So these don't really count as a true god, you know, an Otsutsuki who became a god, but these are the Otsutsuki powers, kind of like what Ida used in order to manipulate the populace. So doesn't really count. But Black Zetsu, while he is essentially just an extension of Kaguya, serving as her will personified, Black Zetsu quite literally forged the shinobi history. Black Zetsu spent multiple generations influencing and manipulating Indra and his descendants, the Uchiha, in order to set up Kaguya's eventual revival. He went as far to change the Sage of Six Paths stone tablet that he left for the Uchiha in order to manipulate their history and their perception of events, which has a passive effect on their memories. The sage left them documents telling them not to fall for Indra's mishaps. Black Zetsu messed it up so that they all followed Indra's mishaps, you know? Now again, this next one doesn't really count, but it is an example of the Otsutsuki powers changing the memories of man and manipulating history. So, again, doesn't really count, but Urashiki and Sasuke time travel to the past. The entire time slip arc quite literally ended with an attack on the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, the defeat of an Otsutsuki, and Sasuke Uchiha as an adult using his visual prowess to erase everyone's memories of these events. And guess what? All this is supposed to take place shortly after Sasuke leaves the village back in part 1 Naruto. So we've got time travel, we have an Otsutsuki attacking the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki in the heart of the Leaf Village with Sasuke as an adult showing up, all in the past. And nobody remembers it even though it happened, because what? Sasuke erases everyone's memories of these events. So again, doesn't really count because one, Sasuke is not an Otsutsuki, but the introduction of the time-traveling turtle implies that it has been used in the past by other Otsutsuki, so this time turtle is a ninja tool for the most part that the Otsutsuki can use to just travel through time. Okay? Also, try to remember that the Sharingan is a power that the Uchiha clan inherited from their Otsutsuki ancestor, Indra Otsutsuki. Right? So the Sharingan, which erased everyone's memories and made nobody remember that Sasuke time traveled with Boruto, is a Otsutsuki ability, used to alter the memories of man. Okay? Now, that's it for the confirmed instances, alright? There could be more. Let me know in the comment section down below if you remember any other instances. But when it comes to potential retcons, right? Potential story elements that we could retcon in order to reintroduce this whole notion that the gods may have previously manipulated mankind's memories, right? We've got a few, alright? So I've seen a couple of these ideas floating around the community recently, and I'd like to cover a few of them, as well as giving my own twist on what I think is actually going on. Now, when it comes to these retcons, right? When it comes to these theories that I've been seeing in the community, I've broken them down into two separate categories, right? First is what I describe as a hard retcon, which I don't really like because hard retcons completely undo the established lore or story elements, essentially erasing the significance of past events in order to tell a new story here in the present, right? Now, the second instance are soft retcons, which are retcons that revisit old story beats that don't really have large amounts of lore information, story elements that are interesting, but never really expanded on heavily, okay? So soft retcons are used to reinvent established lore. Instead of erasing the significance of the past story elements, soft retcons enhance and expand the past story elements in order to tell a richer story now, in order to tell a richer story in the present. So hard retcons, in short, are just bad writing. They just kind of take something because it sounds cool, and then soft retcons are a little bit more thought out, where they grab things that weren't fleshed out too much, and then they use this new information to flesh out both. They flesh out this new thing they're introducing and something that they left in the past that they could work on, and it's two birds, one stone. Now, a couple of examples that I have for hard retcons are things like Hagoromo Otsutsuki is really Shibai Otsutsuki, right? Shibai basically altered the memories of everyone, and he altered their perception so that they believe Hagoromo, the son of Kaguya, came to save them in the Fourth Great Ninja War, right? That's the idea. And it was actually Shibai's doing, and Shibai did all of that. Shibai stopped Kaguya, and Shibai gave them chakra and all this crap. I don't like that, right? Because it kind of undoes everything with Hagoromo and Indra and Ashura. There's a lot of significance and a lot of lore there, and it just undoes all of the writing. It means that stuff was a waste of time. We don't need to work with it, which is a hard retcon. I don't like that, Again, it's kind of cool to think that, Hagoromo and Shibai are related in some sort of way, since for the most part, when Otsutsuki die, they crumble and their souls extinguished or whatever, but Hagoromo is able to live in the Pure Land. And other than him, Shibai is the only other Otsutsuki we learned to shed his physical form and just live in a higher dimension. So there's room for some kind of connection with that, but saying Hagoromo is just doesn't exist, or it was actually Shibai and Shibai's just making everybody think that they met Hagoromo, I don't rock with that. That's just too much, too fast. It's too hard. Now, another hard retcon is something like the Uchiha clan were actually taken down by the Otsutsuki, which basically undoes everything with Itachi and Obito and all of Naruto for the most part. Again, some people theorize this because I said that Sarada, and by extension Sasuke, might be immune to the omnipotent Shinjutsu due to the Sharingan and their Uchiha lineage, right? The Uchiha inherited the Sharingan from their Otsutsuki ancestor, right? So the Otsutsuki chakra that is triggering their eyes to form Sharingan might be enough to bypass omnipotence, granting them immunity, right? Now, Sasuke is not confirmed immune or anything, But some people took this to think that if that is the case, right, if that speculation turns out to be true, then the Otsutsuki might have actually come down, wiped out the Uchiha clan, and just left Sasuke for some reason, and then rewritten the reality so that everybody thinks that Itachi did it, you know? Which is a lot more like workaround. It just doesn't fit right. It's bad writing. Now, some examples of soft retcons are actually just going to take those two examples and then just rework them to make them like pan out a little bit smoother, right? It's softer. It's easier to digest. Now, instead of like Hagoromo is Shibai, why not have it be like Shibai has always been there, he's always been on the earth. Shibai has just made everyone forget that he came to the earth. Like he's used omnipotence to the point where the memory stone that Gamamaru and the Elder Toad Sages can use to look at the world's history has no records of Shibai landing on the planet. He might be there before the memory stone or something like that. So having it so that Shibai has always been there and he's just made everybody forget that he ever showed up there could be a better retcon, because it's like you could retcon it to being that 10 tails that Kaguya used was originally Shibai's 10 tails, right? Because the one that Jigen or Ishiki has could be the 10 tails that him and Kaguya were supposed to use. You know, you could work it around like that. That's why we have two different 10 tails. You know, you grab the information, you connect all the dots. It works softer, easier to digest, right? Plus, there's a lot more wiggle room. You can tell more story instead of undoing the past story. So, Shibai always being there and just using omnipotence to make everyone and everything forget that he was ever there, it's a possibility. Now, the Otsutsuki taking out the Uchiha clan doesn't work well at all. But having the Otsutsuki take out the Uzumaki clan, that could be interesting, right? So with the Uzumaki, right, we understand that the Uzumaki were like, they were like in the land of whirlpools, out in the land of eddies or whatever, and then all of like the world's nations basically came together to try to take these dudes down and eradicate them because they were so powerful and so mighty, and they had such strong life forces, and their sealing jutsu was incredibly scary. You know what I'm saying? They were able to seal these otherworldly creatures and stuff, summon death gods to steal your soul. So the Uzumaki were no joke, right? But at the same time, we don't have a lot of information on them. You know, we spent all of Naruto talking about the Uchiha clan and then how they're connected to the Otsutsuki pretty much. What if we take the other avenue, we bring in the Uzumaki, and we could retcon it to be like, no, the Otsutsuki made the world believe that they all were responsible for the eradication for the Uzumaki because they were crazy powerful. But what if it's actually some of the Otsutsuki came down, stumbled upon some Uzumaki, because these dudes are crazy powerful. Long life forces, right? Sealing jutsu, which is one of the only weaknesses to the Otsutsuki clan. They're out here sealing otherworldly creatures and stuff, and it's like with ease. They're out here sealing the Biju, which are fragments of the Ten Tails chakra, you know? So when it comes down to it, right, sealing jutsu and the Uzumaki's like lack of information could be two very key points to having this soft retcon take place, where it's like the Otsutsuki might have been on the earth before and they just made everyone forget about it because these Uzumaki clan dudes are really powerful. They're out here summoning stuff, they're out here sealing stuff. So when it comes down to it, we know Kaguya was defeated by a sealing jutsu. We know Urashiki got hit with like multiple sealing jutsus. Toneri is still stuck in a seal. Momoshiki got captured in Sasuke's Chubaku Tensei, which is a sealing jutsu, right? So it's not something they can just absorb or negate. Sealing jutsu is fundamentally one of the true counters to the Otsutsuki, right? The fourth Hokage's seal on Naruto, which he learned from the Uzumaki, stopped Urashiki's rod from stealing chakra, right? So sealing jutsu is super fundamental. And their strongest sealing jutsu, the Reaper Death Seal, literally summons a Shinigami, a Reaper Death God, that quite literally resembles the Otsutsuki clan, right? So if they're out here and they have a technique that allows them to summon a death god that looks like the rest of the Otsutsuki, right? Maybe the Otsutsuki are connected to that somehow, and they've come down to the earth before to wipe out these dudes who threaten their power. It's like, oh wait, you can summon the god of death? Holy crap, no, we can't have a whole clan of you dudes running around. Anyway, these are just ideas. These are just theories. These are just speculation. But I'm wondering what you guys are thinking in the comment section down below. Do you have any ideas of moments in the Naruto history or lore that could be grabbed and retconned now? Would you make it a hard retcon or a soft retcon? How many times in history do you think that the Otsutsuki could have come down and manipulated mankind's memories? I'm curious to hear what you guys are thinking in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I've been your man, the Grass Ninja. Happy birthday to me. Take a shot for me and all that crap. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We just hit 1,000, bro. Anyway, talking for way too long. Have a nice day. Peace.